entertain topic of any Ghanaian political table, but I am going to brave it. Ziggy is in the house, says playtime is over, so blame him. Start the way we start. Folks, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I'll say that again. I said, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa. And I say, thank God it's Monday, another opportunity given us to meet up for the finest ritual on radio. Ritual that pushes the bar of emotions and passion. And today we shall go to the limit. Every Monday at this time, folks, we meet up only on Joy 99.7 FM. And our topic today, folks, uncapping the presidency. Uncapping the presidency. Let us all gather and make truth good. Let's come to the table unbiased, clean, open-minded, and have a healthy conversation. Folks, this must be the most hated topic of all time. It must be the subject least entertained in Ghana's political discourse, which alone makes it healthy. And in all honesty, had it not been the maturity exhibited on this show over the years, I would not even contemplate it, bringing it up. But luckily I have you, so why not? Uncapping the presidency. Imoro from Tamale. Ziggy, Imoro, right? Imoro from Tamale, a regular contributor to the show. Now, he said a couple of times that, why do we have a cap on the presidency and not for the ministers, for the MPs? A couple of times. Why do we have a cap on the presidential term? Now, today I want us to interrogate it. Uncapping the presidential term. Folks, currently the president has 2 terms of 4 years. And even that, the Constitution is leaving room for debate and argument, but that's a topic for another day. But for now, 2 terms, 4 years each. Folks, per the Constitution, we give imperial powers to the president, who has the power to appoint thousands of people, almost above the law. Then we tell him that he has only 2 terms. So on the second term, if the person wins election to the first term and goes into the second term, the president, after the second term, the president and all these thousands of appointees know that they're not coming back into power. Once your boss goes, you go. There are some people who don't even wait for the sack. As soon as the president goes, they just pack their stuff. Now, once the president goes, folks, all ministers, MCEs, CEOs of state-owned companies, boards, the whole host. Now, looking at our history and track record, most people then start thinking of their exit plan. The focus is not so much on Ghana now. And that really affects the nation. When it's all coming to an end, we hear stories of rushed intakes, rushed employments, rushed contracts, rushed loans be approved, vote buying developments, send contractors out when there's no money, just send them out. Now, this usually leaves a dent in the national kitty, gives a big blow to the economy. Now, we then have to take time to fill it up by stifling payments, stifling loans, going for more loans, ways and means, maneuvering, sometimes just to cover up the pit that's been left before you can even out and start moving forward. And then the cycle starts again when the time is coming to an end. So my argument in support is that if the president's term is not capped, so far as he's delivering, let the electorate vote for him. Now, I think we have a matured enough voters to determine whether, one needs to stay in power or one needs to be taken out. I think that the electorate, seem to be mature enough. There are those who think that no, we should not. We need to get the electorate a bit more matured before we go there. I think, a couple of displays, there are crews who are voting their mind instead of just handouts. People take the handouts and still don't vote where they were supposed to vote. That's also another argument. But surely, folks, before we uncap, or before uncapping, we must do clipping. What do I mean? We must clip some of the powers of the executives before you just give them that uncap and say, yeah, you can just carry on. You must clip some of the powers. We must look at the Constitution and clip some of the powers of the executive, make them a bit more vulnerable, and then give them the free hand to go. Now, Dr. Drosine said, we should then have a mandatory national development plan backed by law so that the presidents, don't deviate from it. Because once you're going to be there and you have the chance of staying there, then you don't deviate from the plan. By law, you must stay on course. Probably if you deviate, makes you impeachable. If it's not a war situation or a pandemic situation where you have to deviate, if all is well, then you must stay on the plan. Folks, this will very much take away this culture of looting to go home because the end is nigh. Now, if the president and his team know that by working hard, they stand a chance for the electorate, then maybe we have a 50-50 chance. Then maybe, folks, we have a 50-50 chance where instead of looting all the money and take it home, you put some back in there to see if the bait would bite. And then overall, in terms of development, we still move forward instead of just 2 steps forward and 3 steps backwards. Folks, longevity and continuity brings change. We did a show called Change Does Not Bring Change a while back. Change does not bring change. And I was saying that in nation building, there must be continuity. Constant changing does not bring progress. You must have continuity. Most stories we've heard, Professor Bafwa-Jimenduya says, Nana, most of the stories we've heard about these Asian tigers and stuff like that were leaders who stayed in power for 26 years and, long term, and they pushed this agenda for their nations to succeed. wasn't every 5 minutes, go and vote, you're going out, you're coming in. People who pushed it. However, folks, many African leaders have been in power for far too long, and the opposite is true. Even though, folks, it may not be fair to compare our systems to some of them. It may not be fair. I think we have a much more vibrant and alert political citizenry. Folks, if you put yourself forward for contest or context for elections, I mean, you were taken through the mill. I dare say, most African leaders go through what our leaders go through. You are taken through the mill. And you sit and hope and pray that, it will go your way. You don't have that complete, absolute assurance. And they come and then you've won by 80% or you've won by 70%. No, we don't have that here. So I don't know if we can make that comparison. But long and short is that continuity and longevity is what we need for development. How do we achieve it? How do we achieve it? So I am saying that instead of maybe capping the term, why don't we cap the age? Of course, they've already told us that if you're not 40, you cannot run for president. Then maybe we can say maybe if you're 85, that's the end of you. You can't continue after 85. You can't continue after 85. So maybe we cap the age. But in terms of how many 4 years you want to go until you are 80, you keep going. And if the electorate think that you're doing what they want, the bread and butter issues are being solved, why can't the electorate decide? Most developed countries, UK, you can't say president say, where the 4 years go and where the 8 years go. So far as the party is happy to keep him in power, so far as the nation is happy to keep the party in power, he or she stays. So I'm saying that anxiety, that too much competition, that uncertainty that when I leave office, where am I going? And that simple fear, I think, is affecting us hugely. Hugely. Where when the new, when there's a changeover and you hear the stories of what have happened, you realize that, wow, well, these were people who were scrambling to go home because they didn't know their fate. Can we lose that by giving them faith that, listen, if you work hard, there's no need you going home, you will stay and work hard. Because of the nature of the topic, what's your take so that I get as many bites as possible? 0302 216 541. We are very brief. The phone buzzing like this. To be very brief. I am saying if we uncap it, we would loosen the pressure and that uncertainty, and then people then may put in their all so they can stay much longer. Everybody wants to hang on to power. Once you give them the power and you're going to take it away from him, that's what's causing us all these ills and problems that we are facing. So can we sit down, clip the powers of the executive, make the executive a bit vulnerable, get a plan in place that one cannot deviate from, and say, for as many 4 years as possible or as many 5 years as possible, execute it. If we think you're being too slow in executing it, we will try somebody else. But if we think you're good enough, why not? Nana Kwesi is here to chop off my head. Hello, Nana Kwesi. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Nana, good evening.
I said, Nana Kwesi is here to chop off my head. Nana, let me hear you.
Oh, no. Well, I couldn't agree less. So if you want to achieve what you are asking us for,
Mm-hmm.
it starts with the constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the people that we vote for. So this is what we are. Let's say this is what we are saying. This is what we want. This is the direction that we want to go. The people that we vote for to go to parliament, okay, to change the laws for us to get what we are asking for. Do they think alike, or would they even be willing to? You see, we practice affiliation and partisan democracy in this country. That is what we practice, and it's not for development. Okay, and if we are to change the constitution and it becomes mandatory, even if the reason we are even going by the 4 years, and it becomes mandatory, whoever you inherit from, whatever they started, you have to continue. Yeah, project, it won't be a you. Look at this structure. But you see, about 400 here, the one who came after them, there was a whole lot of excuses here and there, and they abandoned it. Meanwhile, it's our tax. So even if say Bosnian or Mokobo aircraft, they used us. Okay, us, our children and the ones who are born to us, they are the ones in a bit here. It's not their pocket money. So no, the genesis and the revelation of this is the constitution. Look at what Ibrahim, my president, is doing at Burkina Faso. Okay, sometimes it's not the longevity. See, the person in charge and now general. How long has Ibrahim Traore been at Burkina Faso? How many years? And 4 years in Koyo. Look at the transformation, and I look at the transformation, and you see, it comes with discipline. And we, the citizens of this country, we are not disciplined. And anybody who wants to instill that discipline, the person knows that he wants to hold on to power. And just like you said, it's 4 years. And also, I say, so no, I say, until me enforce what has to be done. And I want to maybe if we start dealing with the constitution, then we are going somewhere, and we the citizens in Ankara, we begin to understand, say, we want this, then maybe we will make some headway to achieve this.
Thank you.
Because I'm proud of Ibrahim Traore. Honestly, I keep saying he's my president. I don't care that I'm in Ghana. He's my president because common sense and wisdom is functioning there. Anyway.
Thank you so much. But I like the angle of citizens. Thinking, citizen psyche. Even though probably that will also be inspired by the leader, but Godson Tenge is in Ajay Kotoku. Hello, Godson.
Yes, Nana, good evening.
Good evening. Let me hear you. You're a young man, so let me hear your take on this one.
Okay. Nana, this is quite an interesting topic that you were discussing today. But I want to ask the question, our system, is it broken? What we are practicing now, is it broken?
I think
because
okay.
If it's not broken, why are we fixing it? And also, we've witnessed some people in government before. I don't want to toe the political line. But if that way of governing the country should have continued to today, I'm very sure that our CD should be like 25, 30 cedis to the dollar. Would that have been better than what we are experiencing today? So I think the system we have is such that the person should go. The party, because the decisions that they take is mostly a party decision. It's not solely the president's decision. The party in power, the government in power, takes a decision. So if the government performs well, we keep that particular government in power. But if they misbehave, we throw them out. So when you come, do whatever you want to do that you think is right. But then at the end of the day, we have the Kokurumuti, and we will show whether your government or your party has done well or not.
I like the party angle. I wanted to bring it in, but I wanted to cut the thing short. You see, even though the party angle works, sometimes the personality, the charisma of the leader plays a role. So yes, it could be party A in power, and it's Ziggy that's leading. As soon as you say Ziggy should go and bring Nana Ansah Kwao, so yes, it's still the party, but they're not too keen on the new leader. So that argument is also there.
Rightly so, but you see, we have institutions that are supposed to make sure that everyone that comes into power behaves in a certain way. At the end of the day, they should be accountable to the nation. So those institutions, the people that man them, they are not people who are run on years on that until you retire. But what we have is that the people don't act properly. So the accountability institutions that we have don't actually do their work. Because of that, it's like everything rises and falls based on whoever is in power. And once we continue like that, it will not go well for us. But I think that the system we have now, it's okay. We should keep it this way. Others have argued that the year should be increased. I don't think it should be increased. The 8 years maximum is okay. 2 terms is 2 terms. When you are done, we are a country of 30 million plus people. You cannot be the only person who have the ideas to the development of this country. Others also have something to offer.
Thank you very much there. Thank you. And I have Shem in Pram. Hello, Shem.
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Good evening and greetings to Asantua.
I'll tell you, one day I'll enjoy the next call. Nana,
yeah.
We had former President for 20 years now. What was the outcome?
The outcome.
Imagine the former President Kufuor continuing after the election.
No, but he can't continue because we will go and vote. And then we will decide whether you have to continue or not. So it's not like mandatory say you are going to continue. He would subject himself to the people again. Say, this is what I've done. I want to continue, and we will say yes, continue, or no, don't.
We all heard what happened in the 2020 election and how some machinations happened behind the scenes for the NPP to retain power. Now, it is not about longevity here for me.
Okay.
Because Burkina Faso has displayed for us that the limited time you have, you can use it, right, to set up the trajectory for success. But we move, because of our feeble-minded politicians, they make it look as if we don't know what the issues are.
Okay, hold on one second. You're the second person that said Ibrahim Traore, so I think I'm getting feedback, so shall I check it for me? Okay. Now, the Ibrahim Traore issue is that he can wake up in the morning and say, look, I'm going to construct a road to Tamale, Asa. But here, the president can't just wake up and say, I'm constructing a road. He has to go to parliament. And then the parliament will debate, and this will debate. Let the year say. You see, so our system makes decision taking much longer than what Traore can do.
I think that you brought the parliament. That is happening. While I was following what is happening within the Ghanaian parliament, I realized that as the person of the MP, condolences to the family, NPP and NDC agreed on one thing. And the one thing they agreed upon was to adjourn parliamentary sitting today. I was clapping. I'm like, hey, two people can agree. And then the only time they also agree is when their financial packages are supposed to come to parliament. But Nana, if it even comes to killing of a mosquito, I'm sure they will debate on how to kill a mosquito. We are hell-bent on, just look at the NPP currently, they are hell-bent on returning to power without not coming up with anything feasible. For us, this generation to say, this is a political party worth joining or worth casting a vote for. And now you know me, I will never belong to NPP and NDC. I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a patriotic Ghanaian. I will not align my patriotism to either party or party B. So what I say, then Nana, if this is what I say, then we shouldn't even have a president at all. We should have selected leaders or council of sort of people up there who take some of these decisions on the behalf of Ghanaians. You die, you go. Maybe I don't know how we'll do, whether we'll vote or there'll be a certain hierarchy of people who will go there. Because sometimes we know by their roots, these people don't have anything good for us. And Nana, to cut everything short, Kwame Nkrumah had a blueprint for Ghana. Africa as a whole, he had it. And surprisingly, every time these our leaders attempt at solving an issue, they go around in circles. Nana, it's a vicious cycle. There are three ends I always say. They are always mediocre, they are always myopic, and they are always misguided. Nana, it is spot on every time. Every time. This one comes, I want to employ 1,000 people. This one comes, I want to do this. And you can, I'm not done politics. I'm not done political science. But I can tell you, this thing will fail. And it does most of the time. Recently, I heard they are going to continue the National Cathedral. They're going to put some cultural disease. Look at that misplaced priority. Past today, I was listening on JFM. School down be a school new roofing. How? You see, so now it's not a question about longevity. Where we are as a country now, we can use limited time to accomplish and even surpass the countries who are so-called industrialized. We can pass them. We can. A country of measly 35 million people with all these resources, and we can't do 8 years to do some quick magic. It can be done now.
Sam, thank you very much.
We just need the right people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Muhazu Mohammed, assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Oh, Nana. Nana, it's quite a long time.
Yes. It's been a while. Let me hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I hope you are doing well.
I'm very well, my brother. I'm very well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And you have a very good discussion this evening. But I want to tell you that your statement change that not bring change is wrong.
Okay.
Change brings change. One, if we had not changed this government, we wouldn't have known that some people are stealing money. If we had not changed the government, we thought that the cathedral was the best, not knowing there was money sinking in the cathedral. So sometimes change brings change. But what I want to tell you is that the constitution that we have to look at it, the power given to the president is too much. If you don't take care, one day, even in your own home, the president will appoint somebody to be a leader. Where you are going. So for me, I have got the constitution. It needs to look at so that at least, as Mama said sometimes, some of the powers can be taken from the president. I also want to say that the civil servants are important like the politicians. So after 70 something, you have to look at it. So that each and every Ghanaian will work and also benefit from the national cake. A teacher working doesn't mean that he is not contributing to the national development. The MPs are also contributing to national development, likewise the judiciary. So we are all working toward the national development, and we should all benefit from it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. This one says, Nana, please, African leaders must leave the presidential post at age 75, whether they are energetic, senile or not. We just need a national agenda for continuity. We will, whichever way, want to stay forever. Thanks, Nana Equia Spinktix. And Nana, now Kwame is in Dansuman. Hello, Kwame.
Nana,
Kwame.
my greetings to you and your listeners.
Greetings. Now let's come back to, everybody's kind of diverting, but let's come back to the subject with regards to if uncapping is good or if uncapping is not good. What do you think?
I think we need to uncap it.
Okay.
The capping is given at 8 years is fueling this fraud issues and any given opportunity, knowing very well that I have only for 8 years maximum, I have to do everything possible to accrue and with myself, generations born, generations get on board, and until further notice, this constitution that limits to 8 years is what is ensuring that this NDC, MPP, anytime NDC is in power, MPP knows very well that within 8 years I am coming back. So the one in power also will ensure that I have to steal enough. I have to accrue properties and work enough. That will take me for another 8 years. But when we uncap, don't forget that we are going to have the short-term developmental plan, medium plan, and then long-term. Mm-hmm. So the government in power will know that I am here. Until I turn the age of either 75 or 80, I am still ruling. So there will be enough time for planning. I think with that, we will go somewhere. Because this 8 years, 8 years for NPT and MPP is affecting us. It's going to affect us. It's already affecting our now. It will affect our future. And it will affect the generations yet to come. Because I don't see any serious political party now that is well organized to overtake this NDC MPP. Until some few months, we know that dollar cannot come down. But we have seen that dollar has come down. The second coming of this president, I'm not a politician. No. Let me make that clear.
Okay.
But at this moment, we can all say that our current president had learned a lot. That is not the case. The case is that let's uncap this and give every ruling party or the president a longer term. Why didn't we cap that of the parliamentary candidate and we cap that of the president? So I think the conversation should start now. So that whoever is the president, being whoever, MPC, MPP, knowing very well that I have the opportunity, then we can develop the country and develop for our children and generations on and yet from now. Good evening.
Good evening to you. But I am going to the originator of the topic itself. Immoral Al-Hassan. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Wa alaikum salam.
You have to sue me for what copyright, is it? That thing. You know, you have to sue me for copyright. Well,
not at all, Nana.
Well, this was you've said it a couple of times, and I thought I'd do a show with you. I'm glad you called in today. So let me hear you.
Yes. I'm so excited about your topic today. Nana, I think I will want to polish it this way. Mm-hmm. I would have wished that the country will agree, we uncap the presidency and cap the years.
Okay.
You understand me?
Uh-huh.
So if you are doing well, it doesn't matter how many times you come. If you are performing well, we will renew your mandate. No more time limit. But you cannot cross 80 years.
Okay.
I think that would be good for us. Nana, you must realize that all those who come as president comes with their childhood, their adulthood ambitions. Mm-hmm. So they come with any profit of their choice. And they want to force people to abide by it. And if the next president is coming, does not share with that belief, they will abandon it. Right from President Rawlings' time to now, yes, nobody will care about it. Even when his own President Kufuor did Kufuor did power for how many years? He didn't mind it. He could have used the cathedral money to finish some of them. So that was the first project. That is not his project, let alone the party. President Rawlings started certain projects. He never got it completed. Famous among them was Tamale Assam.
Oops.
Reminding.
No, go back to Tamale. They say President did something in Tamale. What did he do?
Yes, I said President Rawlings started an ensemble complex project.
Okay.
Yes, in Tamale. He didn't finish it when he left power and President Kufuor came to power. He didn't touch it. President Atamios came, President Mahama came, the same government. They didn't mind it. It was Nana Akufo-Addo's government that the mayor completed it. So some of these things, they just see free money and they are wasting it. But I am begging that if the country will agree, let's uncap the presidential limit and cap the age limit. I think that would be perfect for us.
Well,
thank you very much, Nana.
Thank you very much, too. Yes, 0302216541. I mean, we've been crying for a sort of an African democracy. We are copying the West too much. And I think that if we reduce the stakes, I mean, the stakes are too high. The uncertainty is just too brutal. So if there's a way in which we can soften these things, I think we could develop a bit faster. I mean, everybody says Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore has a peculiar situation. Yes, for common sense, for pragmatism, can't touch it. Hey, we are doing this. Finance minister, take the money and go and do that. But here, you can't just say, hey, finance minister, go and take the money and go and do this. It doesn't work. It has to go for parliamentary approval. Parliament will say, hey, no, when we got the money, you said you were going to pay teachers. Why are you now going to use the money to go and build road? So our situation works a bit different from his. And so then if we want the Ibrahim Traore Kana presidency, then I don't know whether we're going to give more powers to the president or, shut down parliament and just let the president rule. But those are some of the dynamics that we have. But I strongly believe that if you give, look, like it or not, we're still developing. There's a huge development gap still left to catch up. And this 4 years, what then happens is that short-termism, because I've only have 4 years to come and account and then move forward. So all the projects I will do should be projects that I can start and finish within 4 years and then account to the people and move on. But usually, Godson talked about, I don't know, one of the callers talked about even our psyche. Changing our psyche to appreciate that short-termism and tokenism isn't going to develop the nation alone takes time. That alone takes time and is complicated. And so if I only have 4 years to come back for your vote, I'm not going to dwell on the psychology and changing your mindset. It's too long. Maybe I said, I'm trying to change your mindset into the Tuabamame. Who's going to mind you? So I dig a couple of gutters, stick a couple of lights, on the street lamps, and say, hey, Tuabamame. So it makes us shy away for things that truly becomes the foundational rock of a nation. Shutting down the education system and rewriting it, reconditioning people. So I don't know that whether we uncap the term and cap the age. But Rita is in Accra. Hello, Rita.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, I'm enjoying your program.
Let me hear you.
Especially on the fact that this is a national discussion that borders on nation building. But for me, I just want to introduce the aspect of civic education,
Okay.
which is very critical and crucial in developing our country. So maybe when discussions like this come up, let's find out from the political actors and the politicians what their plans are for civic education nationwide. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a very important point. Probably just as the point I was landing on in terms of changing a national psyche, which is major. Folks, it is absolutely crucial, absolutely major to change the people's mentality from valuing material things to now valuing integrity and honor. And yeah, is you. So that when somebody comes and they look at the track record, say, no, Akwawe is a very decent teacher. He hasn't got any bad track record. Rather than say, oh, Akwawe was a Range Rover, chairman. Case closed. You know. So that's a long thing. But wait to hear from you. I've been glad about the temperament on the topics. I don't know why I thought it was going to be really aggressive, but I really enjoyed the contributions and the temperaments. Folks, you know, most of the leaders that we admire, most of the leaders that we talk about in terms of, oh, this guy developed their country, Charlie, none of them did that 4-year business. Paul Kagame, Lee Kuan Yew, General Park, you know, they all had some sort of length of time. Everybody says, oh, what did Jerry do? What did Jerry do? Charlie, you know, maybe during Jerry's long tenure, that's when we got to understand that coups were not, you know, a way of building a nation, and then we all detested coups. And that, it's, you know, in nation development is major. But Rookie is in Hacho. Hello, Rookie.
Hello, good evening, Nana.
Let me hear you.
Nana,
Yes, sir.
the question I would like to ask, who is going to make this change happen?
Oh, this move, there's only, for now, there's just a conversation. For now, there's it's just to keep,
Exactly.
just to keep the evening going. But who's going to bail this cat? Eish.
Nana, who would want to forfeit their luxury now? Who? Those in power or those yet to take over? I'm just confused. Sad. Because as a nation, we don't really know what we want for the future. We have a lot to be accountable for.
But Rookie, but
we seem not to care.
the constitutional reform, you know, is going on. So you never know. Maybe they might consider it.
Anna, process in the area. On announce on the banner. The NASO to really make it functional is the problem. Because whoever is enjoying it now would not want to forfeit it. And the 1 year to take over would not want to forfeit what others have enjoyed in life. Edu mesone de what's the name bongo? That's where I have the problem. But I know as we started the conversation like this, definitely we'll get there something. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is Rookie in Hacho. So like I was saying, all the leaders and countries that we have admired, and I was talking about Jerry, that look, if you say, you know, under Jerry you didn't see anything, you may be a little bit too harsh, but look, we can credit him for detesting to coups. He kept that stable for so long that after his tenure, after 4 years, because coups indeed bring the nation backwards. So, probably a story for another day. Big thank you to my international producers, the legendary Oliver, Maribel, and the one and only Ziggy. The one and only Ziggy. Next week we'll be doing international production. Next week we'll be doing international production. Kofi Hayford is here. He's got some really good songs, soul-searching songs, while we search for what we really want. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, chief of the only republic within this republic, who don't intend to leave the republic. Once again, to Okukru born and Netei Kwesiajima. Happy birthday to you, brother. The Enigma himself. Folks, every Monday, we come here to do this. Before I sign Nana, please, before uncapping the presidency, the powers of the president should be reduced, especially his powers to appoint CEOs of state institutions. Then there should be one development agenda instead of giving the parties the liberty to come up with their manifestos, which are only promise festos. So they all come in with their own agendas and throw away what they came to meet. Delphinos. Probably summed it all up for us. And now you're on point. And that was Ajiman Joseph. Uncap the term, uncap the age. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Next Monday, God willing, we'll be back to do this all over again.